Shit. Is this thing on? Oh, right. Alright. Hello. My name is Charlie Gordon. It's been a while since you've heard from me. Like what? 2, 3 years? Yeah. Ever since the Brackett Street murders. When... Never mind. You heard that story before. I'm not here to dwell on that. Something else happened to me. Something horrible. Those who are listening to this journal entry, be advised that this contains graphic content. If you do not wish to continue, please stop listening to this. You have been warned. Right, let's see. Where do I start? Many weeks ago, I was looking for a job and, well, ever since what happened to me before, I was traumatized. Every day, out of the corner of my eye, I can see him. Standing there, waiting for me to look away. And when I do, I panic. But in the end, nothing happens. I was 21 and, well, I still am. And I needed a job. Not just for the money, but that I could just put my past aside and focus on something else. Yeah. That time I felt like running away was my only option. I was searching through newspapers and browsing the internet for any job offers. Day by day, I go to an establishment to find the place full. That was until one day. I looked through a newspaper to see a job offer at some pizzeria establishment. The place was called Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, and it was owned by a company called Fazbear Entertainment, I believe. The job was about being a night security guard. I read through the article and it stated, work 5 nights, 12 a.m. to 6 a.m. for the week for a minimum wage, and if still interested, next week you'll be switched to the day shift, along with a raise. It sounded like a really good deal to me at the time. So, I called the number on the paper and I managed to get through to someone. I won't go through all the basic talking and requirements for the position, but later on, I finally got a job. November 1st, 1993, 11 p.m. Night 1. Driving down the road at night made me feel uneasy, like something will jump out from the darkness. I finally got to the place and parked my car. The parking lot was completely empty. Kind of like if you were somewhere that's abandoned. But I did see that there was another car in the parking lot. Normally my shift starts at 12 o'clock, but the reason why I arrived an hour early was because I was supposed to meet somebody who will give me a rundown of the place. The guy I was supposed to meet, his name was William Afton. Seeing the car in the parking lot makes me believe he's here. The building looked new, as I expected. I saw the face of Freddy Fazbear plastered on the front of the building. I got to the entrance of the building and went inside. I was now Well, I would call the front lobby of the place. It's mainly the check-in of the place, and there was a desk in front of me. I assumed someone like a receptionist sitting there, but it's way past closing time and everybody should be gone by now. Well, except for me at least. In fact, I didn't see anybody in the front lobby, so I decided to enter the main party room of the place. The room was big. Well, it needs to be, knowing it's the only party room. There were rows of tables covered in confetti and had paper plates and party hats set out evenly. What really caught my eye was the stage next to the entrance. There I saw 3 huge animatronics: Freddy, a purple bunny, and a yellow chicken. I didn't know the rest of the characters' names at the time. The stage itself wasn't that tall from the ground. In fact, my face was staring at their waist. The robots themselves looked really intimidating due to their massive height. But at least during the day, they looked kind of cute. I can tell why the kids like them so much. Magnificent, aren't they? I nearly jumped after hearing the voice of an old man coming from behind me. I turned around to see a man who looked like he was in his 60s. The one thing that stood out to me was his oddly purple button-down t-shirt. So, you must be Charlie Gordon, I presume. Yes, sir. Are you Mr. Afton? Oh, gee, where are my manners? Yes, William, you may call me. It's good to meet you, Mr. Gordon. Or shall I call you Charlie, if you want? Oh, I'm fine with either way, sir. Nervous, are you? I can tell. But I can at least tell you that you have nothing to worry about, son. I do hope that you have brought some coffee with you. Yes, sir. Well, anyways, welcome to Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. I see you've met the star attraction of the place. In the front is Freddy Fazbear, of course. To the left is Bonnie the Bunny. And to the right is Chica the Chicken. I see. Now, let me help you get situated for your first night. Currently, we are in the main area, the dining area. It is where the kids will play, eat, and enjoy the characters up on stage. Afton then points to the left of the stage, where a door is labeled Backstage. The backstage is through that door. It is where the spare parts and suits of the animatronics reside. On the other end of the room are the restrooms, in case the call of nature gets to you. We both chuckled at the small joke. William then guided me to the back of the room with 2 hallways. That door to the left of the hallways is the kitchen. It's where we, well, make the pizzas, of course. Can't be called a pizzeria without any pizzas. Am I right? I then noticed a strange purple with little white star curtains to the right of the hallways. In front of the curtains was labeled Out of Order. I asked Mr. Afton what it was. Oh, that. That is called Pirate's Cove. It's currently under renovations due to a malfunction with some machinery in there. Right. Now, if you follow me down one of these hallways, it will lead you to your office. We went down the west hallway. There were all sorts of stars dangling from the ceiling and kids' drawings pinned to the walls on each side. I noticed another door to the side. William pointed it out. That there is the janitor closet. Besides cleaning material, the closet does have other tools like crowbars, screwdrivers, and other repair tools. We actually have a camera in there, in case someone tries to hide in there. Oh, right. There's a whole camera system in this place, correct? Yes, actually. There's a camera in about every nook and cranny of the building. So you'll have a good eye on the place. Now, right here is your office. We entered the small room, and I noticed another entrance from the other hallway. Both doors had a window, and right next to the doors were 2 buttons labeled Door and Light. The desk had a phone, monitor, and a cupcake with eyes sitting on the TV. There were other posters in the room as well. Now, let me show you how this works. On the desk here, you will monitor the whole building. You may have noticed these buttons on the doors. We have decided to amp up the security by installing these metal doors. Observe. William presses a door to the left, and a huge metal door swings down, shutting the doorway. I was completely shocked. Why would they need a metal door in the first place? What kind of break-ins have been happening here? Now, on the bottom of the doors, you will notice an emergency handle. With it, you can slide down the doors manually, but when you do let go, the doors will spring back up. You can only hold down one door at a time. Now, the ones labeled lights, I understand it'll be cheaper to just, use your flashlight, but when you have the door closed, you can only see through the windows. You shine a flashlight through there, light will bounce right back. So, the door lights fix that problem. Observe. William pressed the light button, and instantly I can see through the window to the hallway. William then shuts off the light and opens the door back up. Now, there's one more thing I need to let you know about. When it turns 12 a.m., the whole building will be on low power mode. Therefore, the whole place will be running on a generator. There will be enough power to get you through the night, but depending on how much power you use, that is, being the doors and the cameras, the power will decrease much faster. If the power goes out, do not worry. Hold on tight, because when it turns 6 a.m., that is when the city power comes back in, and you'll be safe. Alright, I guess. Great. Well, I think that's it. You have the floor now, Mr. Gordon. I shall take my leave. And remember, don't let anything in or out. Out? Good luck, son. We shook hands and Mr. Afton left. I looked at my watch to see it was 11:45 p.m. Well, now all I have to do is wait. I brought a coffee with me, and seeing how I am pretty much going to be doing nothing but watching the place, I also brought a book with me. I was setting up my workstation until I hear the phone ring. I didn't know I was going to receive calls, so I picked up the phone. Fazbear's Pizza. How can I help you?
Oh, hello. I wanted to record a message.
It was a recorded message?
To help you get
Must be
settled
old.
on your first night.
I hung up on the phone thinking it wouldn't be important. So, I went on my day, or night, and I started to read the book. I tried to get the coffee to keep up with me, but reading the book, I realized it just made me more tired. Minutes later, and more minutes later, I took another sip of my coffee, and when I did, I realized that I drank the last of it. I put the book down and tried to keep myself awake. I think I underestimated how long the night would be. When an hour passed, that's when I drifted off to sleep. I woke up to a strange sound coming from outside my office. It sounded like metal clanking and something sliding against the floor. I looked at my watch, seeing it was 4 a.m. Shit. I was asleep for 4 hours. I didn't even check the cameras. I went to the monitor on my desk and turned it on. A bunch of screens popped up. I switched the camera to the dining area. Nothing. I then switched my camera to the backstage. Nothing. All of a sudden, the camera started filling up with static. Shit. I looked out the right door, and I shined my flashlight down the hallway. It was so dim it didn't even make it a quarter way down. I knew I had to go investigate, but if it really is an intruder, there is a risk of danger in this. I mean, isn't that what a night guard signed up for? I needed to quit my bitching and do my job. So, I left the office with my torch being my only source of light. If it weren't for this light, I'd be walking in pitch black. But the light wasn't that bright. I mean, Mainly, I'm using it to just make sure I don't run into anything. I finally get to the end of the hall, entering the main party room. Knowing the building is on low power mode, none of the lights were on in the room, but there were windows allowing moonlight to brighten up the room a bit. I treaded carefully, looking around to make sure no one was there. I felt something crunch softly like cardboard or plastic beneath my right foot. I shined my light down and lifted my foot up to reveal that I stepped on a party hat. As I picked up the party hat, I noticed the table close to me slid out of place. I looked back down the floor to see the slid mark from the leg of the table. More than that, I saw other marks and smudges on the ground. They looked big and they were in a pattern of some kind. They almost looked like giant footprints. I followed the strange smudge footprints to the other side of the room. The footprints stopped at the stage. I looked up, seeing Freddy and Chica. Wait. Wasn't there a third one? There was a third one. Bonnie. Where was Bonnie? I was more confused than I was scared. But that did not mean I wasn't scared at all. Did the intruder steal Bonnie? How would they steal an animatronic? Wait. No, that doesn't explain the trail, though. Hell, not even my feet can leave a print like that. So, what made those marks? Unless those prints belong to the robot. No. That's insane. That's stupidly insane. Why the hell would I think that? These things can't move on their own. That shit is like out of a sci-fi horror film. The robot's legs or feet should at least be bolted to the stage or something. I then heard another noise coming from behind me. I heard it again and realized it was coming from the west hallway. It was the same metal clanking sound that I heard from my office. Hello? Who's there? I'm armed. If you don't want to get hurt, you better come out now. I carefully approached the west hallway. I held my flashlight like a hammer, like I was gonna pound someone or something if anything came out of the hallway. I looked down the hallway and it was pitch black. I couldn't see a thing, but I can clearly hear something in the hallway. I tried to turn on my flashlight, but nothing happened. I kept pounding it with my hand, trying to turn it on. And then I let out a loud gasp of shock and fear. I saw it stand there, moving its arms and its head all on its own. It then started turning around, about to face me. I had to act quickly. I dropped my flashlight and ran to the side, out of view of the hallway. I pinned myself to the wall and tried to stay quiet. I was right around the corner of the hallway. I looked down to see my light on the floor still turned on. I then started hearing heavy footsteps coming from the hallway. Thoughts started to pour into my head about what would happen if this thing saw me. I needed a plan. If it comes out and sees me, I would make a run for the office down the east hallway. But it's pitch black down there, and I needed my flashlight, and I fucking dropped it on the floor. I heard the footsteps getting closer and closer, and then it stopped right around the corner. I kept my eye on the floor, looking at my flashlight. And then I see a giant, robotic purple arm reach down and grab my flashlight. My heart was beating so fast I thought it would jump out of my chest. I started to peek my head around the corner a bit to get a better look at the robot. there it was, standing there, looking at my flashlight. It seemed curious when looking at it, like he had never seen a flashlight before. 5 minutes passed by, and finally the robot dropped the flashlight, and it started walking back down the hallway. This was my chance to get it back. I once again peeked my head around the corner, but much further, trying to get a good look at the animatronic. My flashlight was still on, and it was shining down the hallway, allowing me to actually see the thing. I slowly and quietly reached for my light. When I had it in my grasp, I snatched it from the ground and made a run for the east hallway and into the office. I immediately closed both doors as soon as I got in. I sat on my chair and had my head in my hands. I couldn't believe what I just saw. Whatever happened, it just took the words out of my mouth. Why the hell would they program these things to move around? Is there some sort of artificial intelligence in these things? I spent the rest of the night with the doors closed. I was alone with my thoughts. I didn't even bother checking the cameras. When it turned 6 a.m., I was relieved. I checked the cameras to make sure Bonnie wasn't still roaming around. Thankfully, he was on stage with the others. I opened the doors and walked out. Then I started thinking to myself, why was I so scared? Sure, Mr. Afton didn't tell me these things can move, but either way, was I really in danger? I'll explain what happens next in the next entry. Until then, this was my first night out of 5.